Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. Please join me. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me.
Good morning. I am Melanie Turbovic. My pronouns are she and her. As we enter this sacred space and time, let us bring our full mindful selves to this hour. Let us enter this space and time together, awakening to this precious present moment.
Chalice lighting reading was written by Peter Samosky. May the flame we light remind us that every one of us can bring the light of love to the world. May this clear flame be a symbol that every heart can burn bright with joy, peace, and harmony. May the wisdom of ages speak to us through this flame and stay in us. Every one of us can be a blessing to the world. Please stand as you are able and join together as we sing hymn number 1013, Open My Heart.
Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
Please remain standing as we join together in reciting our covenant. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service.
Please take your seat. Claim it, own it, for now. But please don't take the chairs home. The church needs them, and Lois would be very upset. I am the facilitator of the Buddhist Study Group. Today we will share with you some reflections on Ethan Nichtern's book, Confidence, Holding Your Seat Through Life's 8 Worldly Winds. This book calls us to claim and hold our seats, our places in the world. By doing that, to develop confidence. Holding your seat means to be grounded and present, even when those pesky worldly winds buffet you. This slide represents the worldly winds as 4 pairs, which may be seen as opposites. Pleasure and pain, criticism and praise, insignificance and fame, failure and success. Each of these pairs describes a quality we desperately try to avoid or fear, and a quality that describes an experience we reach toward or hope for. Today we will discuss these winds and how we can deal with them. Members will present reflections from their own points of view. I hope you find this service enlightening, or at least interesting enough to arouse your curiosity. By the way, you may notice some worldly winds floating around the sanctuary. They're simply reminders of how prevalent and unpredictable those winds can be. Now Elijah will deliver the message for all ages.
Hi, my name is Elijah Krostiv, and my pronouns are he, him, and today I will be giving the message for all ages. Visiting Feelings by Lauren Rubenstein, illustrated by Shelley Heihenberger. Do you have a feeling that's visiting today? Can you open your door and invite it to play? Can you ask what it wants and then check it out? Welcome it and listen to what it's about? What if the feeling plays hide and go seek and won't let you see it, not even a peek? And here's an idea, a good one to try. Look at that feeling with wide open eyes. How does it look? Is it short? Is it tall? Is it thick or thin or round like a ball? Is it bright like the sun, dark like the rain, Or is it a look you can't even explain? Now, how does it feel? Is it like as a cloud floating on air, or heavy and huge like a grizzly bear? Is it soft like your mom when she whispers goodnight, or loud like a baby who fusses and fights? Is it sharp like stepping on stones with bare feet, or smooth like ice cream, your favorite treat? Is it warm or cold, sour or sweet? Does it shiver with fear when the two of you meet? How did this feeling enter your house? Did it barge right in? Was it shy like a mouse? Or did it rumble and grumble like a thunderstorm blast? Or was it quick as a hummingbird darting round fast? And where has the feeling settled inside? In your stomach down low? In your throat up high? If you listen to what your body can say, you'll find that your feelings are really okay. With a bit of attention and a little more care, they might even tell you just why they are there. So some feelings are tough and some are more fun. Now, are you ready for the next one? So whenever a feeling comes by to play, welcome it in and let it stay for as long as it likes, or a minute or two. Ooh, treat your feelings like friends talking to you. That's the end of the book.
Thank you very much. Hope and fear can influence how the worldly winds affect us, if they inflate or deflate us, and to what extent. Nichtern uses the image of tube men inflating and deflating, blowing from side to side unendingly. I've seen tube men in front of auto dealerships, and more recently in nonviolent rallies, rising up and down, blowing from side to side, buffeted by the winds with no control over what they do. My teachers always encouraged us to be in touch with the true teacher inside of ourselves. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, the great awakening occurs when we recognize that what we are looking for is within ourselves. Then our suffering will end and we will be happy. While staying seated, let's sing hymn number 184, Be Ye Lamps Unto Yourselves, 3 times. Now Joanne Rivak will offer a poem attributed to Lao Tzu, Always We Hope.
Good morning. Always we hope someone else has the answer. Some other place will be better. Some other time it will all turn out. This is it. No one else has the answer. No other place will be better. And it has already turned out. You have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. There is no need to run outside for better seeing, nor to peer from a window. Rather, abide at the center of your being, for the more you leave it, the less you learn. Search your heart and see the way to do is to be.
Squirrels love to be squirrels. Now, Linda Berman will read a reflection on pleasure and pain written by Julie Ciccarelli.
It is my pleasure to talk to you about the Buddhist view of pleasure and pain. It may surprise you that I, like many of you, am an imperfect human. I am often my own worst enemy. If I am doing something pleasurable, like eating too much ice cream or staying up late watching TV, it's hard to stop. I know these are not good for me, but I keep on doing them anyway. If I stay up too late, I'm often tired and frazzled in the next morning. If I could wish you only one pleasure, I would, but life doesn't work that way. As humans, we all experience pain. In terms of the 8 worldly winds, the winds of pleasure and pain are the most visceral forces of our lives. They are wired into our nervous systems. The Buddhists spoke of pleasure and pain, first because they're so direct, and we feel them so deeply. Buddhism teaches that neither pleasure nor pain is inherently good or bad. Of course, if physical pain becomes a medical concern, we need to see a doctor. Meditation can help clarify both pleasure and pain. We meditate in a safe setting. Pleasure is biologically designed to convey a feeling of well-being and freedom from danger. But our reptilian brains trick us into thinking that our well-being will be permanent. We are upset when our well-being is disturbed. Too bad, I can't stay up all night doing something fun. Meditation can ease our experience of emotional pain. Jealousy, greed, envy, or anger bring emotional pain. Even as we recognize that these feelings are not good for us, we can meditate with compassion for ourselves and other imperfect human beings. Practicing mindfulness brings a clearer understanding of pleasure. Over time, you can learn to enjoy every moment of pleasure. We can learn to do things in moderation. We all need to take time to enjoy, to settle down, rest, and appreciate our lives. In the Tantric Buddhist tradition, the twin experience of pleasure and pain are often referred to as one taste. Whenever our feelings may be, whether pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, we can learn to accept them. Not easy, but that's why Buddhists call meditation a practice.
Thank you very much. I will now offer a reflection on insignificance and fame. I recently attended a Psychological Association conference. It was exciting and stimulating, but I was aware of some uncomfortable feelings at times. I noticed how many new psychology books had been written by my colleagues. I was pleased for them. They are contributing to the world, and they are creating a legacy, something that will last, maybe not forever, but for a long time. And then a little voice crept in. Why haven't you written any books? They are all more productive and successful and well-known than you are, etc., etc. The feeling of insignificance was very unpleasant. Have you ever had such a critical voice in your head? So I reminded myself that those thoughts and feelings were impermanent and were insignificant in themselves. In order to let them go, I shifted my attention to being in the present moment, and the outside world came alive. There were so many things to see and hear and do. I especially liked therapeutic squishy toys. You can try this out in Atherton Hall if you would like to later. Have you ever wondered what your legacy will be? What you would like to have left behind? What sort of recognition truly matters to you? Nichtern points out that it might be better to be known by a few loved ones than by thousands of fans. That's a good topic for meditation. Rick Rayburn will now present.
My name is Rick, and my purpose today is to muse. Honestly, I think my purpose every day is to muse, but today it takes a different form. I'm drawing inspiration from words we listened to right here just a few months ago. The fierce and honest words of a poet by the name of Andrea Gibson made while they were dying of cancer. Words that were spoken in rebellion against a suffering that was consuming their being. Words made without blame in a spirit of conscience acceptance. I guess what I'm saying is that I was impressed by Andrea, but not just by style and delivery. I think I was more impressed by essence. And it is in Andrea's spirit of consciously aware, positive rebellion that I'd like to muse with you today about the worldly winds. Those 4 pairs of cruelly constant gust. 4 of them already presented by my partners, but 4 still to be mentioned. I speak to you now of success and failure, and of praise and blame. And ironically, I do so while wearing black and white, as if I am an animated study in the contradiction of absolutes. It's ironic because we know that very little is ever absolute. Very little is ever really settled or ever even finished. And the great teachings of Buddhism tell us that we should examine that space between the extremes. They call it the way of the middle. And so I have to ask the way, what is that center point between blackness and whiteness anyway? Is it the gray? And I think, God, I hope not. What a sad compromise. I mean no offense to the color gray, but does the way of the middle need to be a blurring, a mediocrity? To settle on the gray feels like something is just not quite right to me. It feels like my spirit has somehow been blunted. And so I ask my path, what is the truth of this gray, this sadness, this suffering that I feel? What is the wisdom of right understanding to be found here in the color gray? And the path seems to give me a reply. The truth of the middle is not in the color itself. The truth is in the wisdom of fully seeing. To hold the extremes, but to refuse to belong to them. To travel the entire spectrum 8-fold ways, guided by right effort and mindfulness. To conduct myself, hopefully ourselves, with grace. To find peace in the journey. To flow. How often do we try to understand the middle ground between our risings and our fallings? Perhaps it is useful to call upon a man who dared to rebel against the conformities of the gods. That poor King Sisyphus, condemned forever to a cycle of ascending, then descending. The world tells us that when Sisyphus reaches the peak of the mountain with his boulder, that brief and perfect triumph is called success. And the world also teaches us that as that boulder rolls back to the bottom, it is the unforgiving loss of failure. Sisyphus lives in Albert Camus' Absurd. His life is the very definition of impermanence. The stone always returns to the valley floor, and he always fetches it to carry it back to the top. Is Sisyphus a sucker? Is he a punching bag in this journey we call life? Or is he, through the act of his volition, a student of Dharma? The middle way offers us a reframing of his situation. His truth is not at the height of the mountains. Rather, his victory is when he chooses to turn and act upon his volition to proceed back down. He asserts his dignity when he picks the stone up, and he declares his constant rebellion against the labeling of the gods through his action. His success is never the summit achieved, and his failure is never the descent endured. His freedom lies in the fidelity to the effort, his pure, continuous push that is unattached to the outcome. His dignity is his discipline, and his peace is played by the rhythm of his feet. But even though his actions are pure, Sisyphus may still have worldly winds to contend with. He has proven the discipline of action, and he has proven the exercise of choice. But what is the music that plays inside his mind? At the peak, does he hear voices that praise him, exalting his strength? And in the valley, do those same voices mock him and tell him how foolish he is to persist? Is his mind congruent with his admirable action? Or is he in a state of internal conflict, forcibly using his power of discipline to continue a game? With the voices of his mind, does he imagine himself at the top of the mountain, growing beautiful, glowing wings and soaring magnificently into the sky, lofted by the adoration of the gods? Does he mistake the sound of his temporary success as his essence? Do those beautiful rhythms in his mind fade as he reaches the bottom, replaced by the deafening discordance of loneliness that is in conflict with his discipline to act? At the bottom, does he mistake those sounds of loneliness as his essence? Let us muse a little further using a different myth from a different time and place, a myth that shows us a deeper kind of overcoming. The myth of the phoenix asks us to focus on the whys in support of, or perhaps working against, our noble actions. We do not see the phoenix encumbered by the regret, why must the fire be? Would it be reasonable for it to ask, hey, fire, why are you burning? Is it the right thought of the phoenix to demand justice for its pain, to search out and blame whoever or whatever is the fire starter? Exactly how much curiosity is useful before the curiosity itself contributes to the consumption? At what point does our search for the whys prevent a necessary rising and assurance that only ashes remain? It seems the phoenix is showing us the way. It seems to understand that the fire is necessary, that the fire is one of detachment. The phoenix rises not because the cause was ever just, but rather because its spirit endures. And now, our musings must come to an end. We've considered a real-life person that has died, the wearing of black and white attire, a mythical king, and a bird. We have mused that they all share a wisdom, and that wisdom looks a bit like rebellion. Each of these stories compel us to refuse the attachment of labels, to refuse the attachment of results. Our path is teaching us that the core self does not derive from the gilded feathers of praise, nor does it derive from the piled ash of blame. Our path is teaching us to uncondition the fire and accept it for what it is, an event that purifies. Wisdom is the shield. It defends our spirit from the unrelenting 8 winds. It harmonizes our experiences of pleasure and pain. It manages the external and opposing dualities of fame and infamy. It reframes our definitions of what is success and what is failure. And it understands that the purifying fire is neither praise nor blame. The wisdom knows the winds will reach us. Whether we be on the mountaintop or in an ash pit or whatever or whoever our circumstances. And the wisdom knows that our best protections from the winds are the unaffected chambers of our own minds. Our daily manifestation of the wisdom is the practical application of Dharma. And the way we walk our path is largely the product of our own decision-making. We suffer when we cling to illusions. We become free when we recognize those illusions are not worth holding on to. We have a choice to be the king who turns again and again with dignity. We have a choice to be the bird that rises again and again with purity. We have a choice to be unburdened by the black and unaffected by the white. We have a choice to own our perspectives between the absolutes of extreme. And we have a choice of whether or not to be conscious as we travel our path. I believe that we should choose to imagine Sisyphus happy and eternally pushing the boulder up the hill, the phoenix externally whole, pure, and soaring magnificently. And I believe that we should choose to imagine Andrea somewhere at peace, having lived a life of contentment. Thank you.
Thank you. Please stand as you are able, and we are going to sing Spirit of Life, number 123.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots only close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Please claim your seat. So, what can we do to handle these worldly winds that can disrupt our lives? The Buddhist solution is called upekkha, generally translated as equanimity or a balanced mind, and Rick has already alluded to this. It is the skill to recognize and face these winds with openness, courage, and resiliency. Nichtern says that the ability to hold on to or reclaim this resilience when the winds start blowing is the foundation of true confidence. I would suggest that resiliency is part of our true nature, the nature of all living things. I think of the bulbs and trees and grasses growing again after a frozen winter, of the animals surviving and thriving. This is our true nature. Most of us have confidence in certain abilities, but do we have deep inner confidence? Can we deal calmly with uncertainty, with the unknown? Self-confidence is about having firm trust in yourself. To develop this, Nichtern says you need to get to know and then to trust your own mind, learning to navigate your own mind. That process is the core of the Buddhist practices of mindfulness and meditation. I remember one time asking Katagiri Roshi if he ever doubted his faith. He looked at me incredulously and said, "I am faith." To me, that is true confidence. No doubt at all, no separation. As spiritual beings, we need to be confident, but not arrogant, greedy, or self-absorbed. On the other hand, following a spiritual path does not mean you have to be self-effacing either. He refers to the tightrope between arrogance and self-diminishment. Confidence is a practice, a work in progress. It is not a set end point. No. It is a lifelong practice, or maybe a many lifelong practice if you believe in reincarnation. But we can develop the 4 powers of confidence. These include compassion, lineage, awareness, and wind horse. To develop the power of compassion, we need to be engaged in true self-reflection. But compassion as we think of it may not be appropriate when we're facing the worldly winds of real life. For example, can we face power that has become arrogant Yes, power can become arrogant. Have you ever noticed that? I bet you have. How can we deal with that arrogance? He recommends that we develop not only kindness, compassion as we think of it, but a fierce compassion that knows how to say no with love and how to use the kind of strength it takes to pop the balloon of arrogance. Yes. Thank you. Second, there's the power of lineage. Today I'm wearing a rakusu, a small Buddhist robe that symbolizes my commitment to following the Buddha's way. With every stitch I took as I sewed it, I said Namu Kie Butsu, which means I take refuge in the Buddha. Before a Zen priest or layperson puts on their robe, a chant is recited, and I will recite it for you. Great robe of liberation, field far beyond form and emptiness, wearing the Tathagata's teaching, I vow to save all beings. By save, I mean to help them find self-awareness and take their true seats. We all have a lineage of some kind. The experiences and teachings that we carry with us can give us confidence to continue practicing and to take that practice out into the world. Here is a simplified version of the story of 3 monks who came from unsatisfactory experiences with their former teachers. The new teacher they had sought out told them that they had to denounce all that they had learned before. 2 of the monks did so, but the third said he could not. He had learned some things from his past teachers, and he would not renounce that. The new teacher immediately accepted him as the student. We include everything in our journey toward enlightenment. Third, there is the power of awareness. There's an unconditional aspect of awareness that's always present. Nichtern describes it as a spacious sense of knowing that operates under all our confused thoughts and mental chatter. Awareness is not a thing. It can be elusive. It involves witnessing our own experience. It is a space, a knowing, empty, and warm space. And fourth, there is the power of wind horse. It involves harnessing the energy of the worldly winds, the energy of fear and hope, and using that energy to live more fully. The core of wind horse is that a power comes from meeting the forces of life with a tender, brave heart. Wind represents the forces of life, and horse describes our ability to harness and ride those energies. In the tantric view, every emotional state is inherently wise, and it is possible to develop confidence, not in spite of, but because of all those experiences. Now let's do a brief wind horse meditation, which is based on the Confucian idea of heaven, earth, and humanity. Earth is the physical world. Heaven is creativity and a wider view of the possible. And the job of humanity is to unify heaven and earth. We are where heaven and earth meet. Please sit comfortably with your feet on the floor and your back as upright as is comfortable for you. Your feet may want to connect with the earth, while the crown of your head may reach up toward the heavens. Feel the spacious quality of heaven. Let the chair hold you, all of you, every muscle and bone and fiber. Now you can let go of all the unnecessary tensions in your body and your mind. Are any of them really important at this moment? Just let your shoulders relax. Ask yourself, am I completely relaxed? Is there any tension, any holding I could release? Throughout this process, you may keep your eyes open and slightly lowered, or you may close them. Now notice your breathing, not judging it, just being aware of your in-breaths and your out-breaths. Can we notice, wonder, just be aware of what's going on more than we judge ourselves? Now join heaven and earth at the heart center, focusing your attention on your heart. Soften your attention, go even deeper, and feel your genuine heart. Allow yourself to deeply experience whatever it is that you feel. Then, when you're ready, allow yourself to radiate confidence from the heart center, diffusing your awareness outward in all directions. Now return your awareness to your physical body while still feeling connected to yourself, to all of us, and to all beings through your loving kindness and your mindful breathing. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ellen Vinzani, and I'm a member of the Lay Pastoral Care Committee. For our joys and concerns today, we have 4. Gloria Kinney shares that she did have a minor stroke. She is recovering at home and hopes to be back in circulation soon. Meanwhile, she would welcome cards. You are in our hearts, Gloria. Bob Anders, is Bob here today? Hello, Bob in the back. He is turning 80 years old this week. And his surprise at this milestone is overwhelming, as he nearly died of a heart attack at 37. He says, life is good. And incidentally, Julie Ciccarelli, who you saw that wonderful picture of earlier, turned 85 a week ago. And she is at home not feeling well right now. But not to be outdone, longtime CCU member Cindy Cochran, who's right here, turns 90 in, I think, 2 days? Right, June the 2nd. And I say long-term member, there is hardly anyone in the whole congregation who's been a member for longer. I looked it up, it was 42 years, wasn't it? 42 years. So we also appreciate your loyalty and your tenacity in sticking with us. Think how many changes there have been in this church in those 42 years. There is a card to sign for her out in the narthex or in Atherton Hall. In Atherton Hall. And we have flowers and we have cake and we have singing afterwards. If you have joys or concerns to share with us, please get in touch with Rev Pam, Rev Karen, or one of the lay ministers, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you.
And this gently leads us to the practice of generosity.
Giving is the anchor that holds you through a stormy night. It reminds you who you are at your best self. With your gift, Countryside Church can be its best. Your gift helps us fulfill our mission to create belonging, inspire curiosity, and heal our world. The offering, your gift, will now be gratefully received.
To put this talk into a larger context, Buddhist practice begins with working to understand our confusion and taking responsibility for our own mental experiences. But our individual experience is also shaped by our relationships, social, political, and cultural environment too. Especially in a democracy, we need to hold ourselves accountable for paying attention to what's happening in our world and for actively participating in our society in whatever ways we can. Confidence we develop in our spiritual practice can help us to raise our voices for justice. I have been thinking about the kind of leaders our country needs. People who want to do good, or at least not to do harm. People who will reflect on themselves and act with strength and integrity. I remember last year when my son was running for public office. On election night, he was working on a project, not looking at the returns. His father and I were watching the returns as numbers changed and outcomes looked uncertain. And when it was finally clear that my son had really won the election, I told him. He looked amazed, but very happy. His response was, "Finally, I can do some good." I was filled with love and pride and awe. I wish all our public leaders would approach their jobs with that attitude, with real public service in mind. So, if we take our seats, act mindfully and thoughtfully, and with deep inner confidence, I believe we can build a better world. Our closing hymn will be filled with loving kindness.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
You can be seated. Though we extinguish the light of this chalice, we carry forth the loving kindness and confidence that radiate from within us to share with all the world. Nichtern's ending message is, confidence can be a gentle practice of settling into the gusty winds of experience that we can experience on any given day of our lives. So let's start now. Through our spiritual practices and with confidence, we will learn to handle the worldly winds. Please repeat after me. I am here.
I am here.
This is happening.
This is happening.
I am taking my seat.
I am taking my seat.
Now I have taken my seat.
Now I
I have arrived.
Confidence before me, confidence behind me, confidence to the left of me, confidence to the right of me, confidence above me, confidence below me, confidence within me, confidence all around me, confidence before me, confidence behind me, confidence to the left of me, confidence to the right of me, confidence above me, confidence below me, confidence within me, confidence all around me.
Thank you.